Before we begin, would you please silence your cell phones? Get them out and take pictures all you want. Just leave them silent. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. I'm sorry the students missed my pratfall. It was a doozy, but we've got a great faculty, and they picked me up. So please be seated. I just have a few things to start out with. Can you hear me? Hey, I'm from the mountains, so I yell a lot. So I don't want to hurt your ears. How about that? Okay. What I'd like to start out with is a trip down memory lane. We have been working and graduating students from this program since 2017. The program began in 2017, and Jason Harmon has been filming most every orientation and hooding ceremony that we've had. So I'd like to begin with that. Are you ready? Okay. So we're starting with 2016. This is a remarkable day for me. I wanted to have everybody together tonight in one room just so I could see you all and really, I wanted to believe that it was really real and you all were going to be here, so it's terrific.
Hi everybody, I'm Kim White. I know some of you already. Again, as Peggy said, you know, I remember 10 years ago when I came to Marshall, everybody was like, gee, we need an MSW program at Marshall. Gee, we need an MSW program at Marshall. And everybody's just kind of like, yeah, we do. And now here it is.
My original major for undergrad was social work, and I got it from Marshall. And I really enjoyed Professor Harmon. And so when she asked me to apply for the Marshall's program, I did and got in and decided I would come back here because it was familiar and I liked the professors and was excited about it being a new program.
I was originally a bachelor's in social work. I graduated in 2014 in the fall. I originally chose this because I wanted to be a patient advocate for Veteran Affairs. My husband is a disabled veteran, and I did help him in pursuing his disability claim before I joined the program initially here. And I did see that they had some classes that were specializing, helping military children and families. And growing up and living on a base also with prior military in my family, it really influenced my decision to help work for these people that do serve our country.
So welcome everybody. You all are part of history here. I was saying this sort of just surreal. It's a little scary, so many of you all. But it's just really great that got this started?
I started in August of 2016 as a professor with the integrated behavioral health social work program here. I felt like that we had a really good quality of students. They were very engaged. They knew what they wanted to go forward with, you know, what they wanted to use their social work degree for, and what kind of programs, what kind of areas that they wanted to work in. They're very passionate about behavioral health and substance abuse treatment and how they could be a part of that. And I really felt like that we had a really good group of students.
And we had talked a lot about doing an MSW program, and we had even started a survey to see how many people would go, trying to get the hype built up, and she actually was able to get the program started. So I bumped into her at a training for work, and she was like, hey, you should join our program. And I was super excited, so I applied, and now I'm here.
I actually moved here, and I was doing undergrad at another school that didn't offer an MSW, and so I was trying to find a place to do my MSW, and Marshall was in Huntington, so I decided to apply, and so that's kind of how I ended up here, and it's been super rewarding. So.
The first graduates from the Marshall University MSW program.
There are 269 accredited Master Social Work programs in the United States. I'm happy to report that Marshall University MSW program is one of them. If you go to the Council on Social Work Education website, you will see that our initial accreditation date was 2016, and that our latest review was February 2019. Accreditation is of the utmost importance to us because all social workers must graduate from an accredited program to become licensed and to be eligible for specific jobs. The students who joined our program in 2016, 2017, and 2018 knowingly took a gamble that those in charge of this program would be good stewards and shepherd this program to accreditation. This evening's theme has been about overcoming obstacles. I want to share with you that being appointed as the program director who is responsible for the livelihoods of soon-to-be 121 graduates has not been an enviable position. The process of accreditation is an obstacle in and of itself. It is meant to be this way to assure that each program provides professional social workers with an outstanding quality of education, which in turn assures that these social workers are consummate professionals. The students here tonight are the first group to graduate who are absolutely sure that their program is accredited. So, if you ever want to see if your program's accredited, go to the Council of Social Work Education website, and you'll definitely find us on there. We're fully accredited, and we have been since 2016, and we're accredited to 2031. So you're the first class that has that distinction, that we're fully accredited to 2031. So congratulations to you on that. Come on back. So I'm Dr. Peggy Proudfoot Harmon, and I am the Master Social Work Program Director and the Chair of the Department of Social Work. Another piece. As stated earlier, the process of accreditation is just that. It's a process. Programs have to begin with the first class who have to believe that the program will be accredited. And all new programs explain to their cohorts that the programs have to go through a rigorous assessment process known as a self-study. I and my distinctive colleagues here have been a part of that. Professor Dingus, Professor Harris, Professor Hayden, Professor Looney, Professor Nelson, and Professor Nichols. And last but not least, our Professor Reimer, who is always tirelessly working and who tirelessly put this together. We have two guest speakers this afternoon. I'll introduce them in just a moment. But I did want to talk a little bit more about the process of self-study, which is essentially the policy and procedure of our program. It sets out all of aspects from the faculty backgrounds to curriculum to admission guidelines, and programs are required to submit updated self-studies for 3 years in a row when they begin. So our class that you saw there, some of you are familiar with old Pritchard Hall, room 324, the old standard. That's where we began in 2016 that evening. It was really, really exciting and really, really scary because our students did take a chance on us. This is one of our students, Professor Dingus, who was in that first class. Professor Fowler, some of you have had her as your field liaison, your field instructor, and we're so proud of all of our graduates, but that first class really took a chance. The second class, Professor Harris was in, they also took a chance because we were then provisionally, you know, the terms provisional and conditional, and so we were provisionally accredited then, and then we had to go through another round of assessment and writing, and we were finally fully accredited then at 2019, going back to 2016. So that's how this process works, and it's really a rigorous process, as it should be, because it shows that you have gone through a program that is very rigorous and that will help you deal with the social work problems of the day. The other thing, as of 2024, there are 338 fully accredited MSW programs in the United States, which really, that's not very many. And Marshall University is one of them. 99 of them are offered on evenings and weekends, and Marshall's MSW program is the only one in West Virginia providing that option. If you go to the CSWE website and select the following items, which provides a profile of programs, and you put in West Virginia at master's level, and it says that we are area of specialized practice, other, because we have two areas, behavioral health practice and behavioral health administration, which is our online program. Actually, we have 4 total MSW programs, generalist to advanced standing in the behavioral health practice arena, and generalist to advanced standing in the behavioral health practice arena, or administration arena in the online program option. So, there it goes again. I'm sure to trip over that. Our first online student graduated last year. This year we have 2 who are at the hooding, and next year we have 15 students that are joining that program of the 99 who have been selected to be in our program for next year. So, if you look again at the CSWE site and you click program plan, you will see that we have an advanced standing program, full and part-time options, weekends and evenings. Again, our only ones in West Virginia, even though there are 3 master's programs in West Virginia. And if you look at program certificates, we have the only school social work certificate in the state of West Virginia. Congratulations, Professor Looney, who heads that program up, and Professor Pack, who also worked diligently to make this happen. So, we now, after your class graduates, will have 362 graduates from this program. And I want to thank our extraordinary faculty, some of whom are not here this afternoon, but contributed mightily to getting everything up and running. And I would like to introduce you to our Vice Provost of the Graduate College, Dr. Carl Mummert, who's going to give a few remarks. We're really happy to have you here. So please, give a Carl.
Thank you and good afternoon. On behalf of President Smith, Provost Mukherjee, and the Marshall University faculty, staff, and administration, I'm glad to welcome you all to the Master of Social Work hooding ceremony this afternoon. We're glad to recognize each graduate for their hard work and dedication that led them to this moment today. In our mission statement, Marshall University aims to contribute to the quality of life of the community, region, and beyond through applied research, economic development, healthcare, and cultural enrichment. The MSW program objectives include integrating behavioral health with primary care, with specializations in rural and underserved populations, along with military veterans and families. The students that we recognize today are a central part of that mission. We're glad to have you all as part of the Marshall family. Marshall's interdisciplinary clusters of excellence are 10 areas of research and practice in which Marshall is pushing to be a leader. The College of Health Professions and the Department of Social Work have important roles in several of those areas, including addiction and opioid recovery, gerontology, and rural and behavioral health. Your jobs will be shaped by those issues in the coming decades, and along with you, Marshall is leading the way towards a brighter future. I'd like to pause for a moment to emphasize the symbolism of a hooding ceremony. An academic hood is a physical symbol of your accomplishment and the change in your status from a student to an expert in your field. By placing the hood on your shoulders, the faculty are acknowledging your new status and welcoming you as a member of the discipline. You can wear your hood with pride. Along with the president and the provost, congratulations again for reaching this important milestone that we recognize at today's ceremony. You've earned it.
Here. Woo-wee. I will keep this short and sweet, but I get the privilege of welcoming Crystal Price. Crystal and I go way back. She was actually one of my students when I taught at the other university in this state. So I was at WVU for a little while, and so Crystal was one of my students there. And actually, we were pregnant at the same time, and I know one of her little ones that she was pregnant with is here, and I was pregnant with twins, so it was good times for us. But I'm going to tell a little story because Crystal, if you all don't know Crystal, Crystal and her husband Chris started Mountain Care Network, which is a phenomenal facility in the Charleston area, serving much of our population. So Crystal and her husband are top-notch social workers who speak on behalf of every social work, every community member. They help kids, they help adults. So I will share a little story that I've had, and I know I didn't say this to you all, but I don't know if any of you have heard about the Shawnee shooting incident that happened at the sports complex. Well, Crystal's kids play soccer. I don't know if you all were there that day, but my kids were there. My one son was on the field playing, and we all ended up running for our lives. We were not in danger after it was all said and done, but my children all climbed the fences. My significant other climbed the fence. I saw they were safe trying to get out of this complex. And the reason I'm telling this story is because Crystal and her husband then opened up their services. They came to my son's soccer team, so they came and offered services to everybody who may have experienced that trauma. So they came and spoke to parents, and they spoke to, I believe, some of the kids that did experience that situation. And so I wanted to, it just was this phenomenal thing that your agency did. And I don't know where Chris is, but it was phenomenal. And you do not know how much it was appreciated by the community members who experienced the trauma of that day. And so I don't want to be too long-winded because I know it's super hot in here, but you all have done fabulous things, and I am so honored that you came to speak to our students, because Crystal and her husband serve as field instructors. So they welcome many of our students who are doing their internships. I don't know how many students you all have helped and taught, and probably some of you in here right now get to work very closely with them. And so they continue to teach our students, and we are so thankful for you. So Crystal Price, please come up and speak to our
Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, yes, I am incredibly passionate about the field of social work, and just so happy to see this program growing. So congratulations, and thanks first off. It's an honor and a privilege to stand here today and celebrate this milestone. This marks the finale of your exams, your internships, your group projects, your dedication and your resilience. Today, we are just not celebrating the end of your academic journey, but the beginning of your lives as social workers. As a social worker myself, I learned in school and also live by the statement that you don't choose social work, but social work chooses you. I feel pretty certain that if we had an opportunity to ask each of you your stories, you would say something about your passion for helping others, and we'd hear about the challenges that you have overcome. We'd hear stories of heartache, survival, and courage. My mom was 16 when I was born. The story began for me with all the odds stacked against me, but I had a mother who never gave up and always kept pushing me to be just a little bit better. Through her sacrifices, I learned the art of helping others, and eventually, after changing my major about 6 times in school, social work found me. I love telling others that I studied social work in school because you never know what reaction you're going to get. A lot of people have no clue what social workers do, and oftentimes you'll get that curious look, like, why? You're never going to make it, you're never going to make any money. But sometimes you meet another social worker and they understand, they get it. Each of us has arrived here with our own stories, our own dreams, our own aspirations. Through your rigorous coursework, your field placements, your countless hours of studying, you've transformed your passion for social justice into a practical, actionable force for change. You have walked a path that is challenging, inspiring, and most importantly, prepared you to make a profound difference in the world. Let's not forget those moments that you wondered if you were learning more about yourself than social work. You were. Social work is a field rooted in the principles of empathy, equity, and empowerment. As you step into these roles as social workers, you carry the knowledge that every client in every community, every person encountered has a unique story and a unique set of needs. Our task is to approach each situation with an open heart, a critical mind, and always striving to uphold the dignity and worth of every human. This journey is not an easy one. You will encounter cases, theoretical concepts, and real-world scenarios that test your understanding and test your compassion. You will hear and see things that you think are unreal. It is through the challenges that you have already overcome and the skills you have already developed necessary to address the complex and often difficult issues faced by individuals and communities. You've learned a lot about not only how to listen, but how to make others feel heard. You know not how to just be present, but how to bring calm and love not just how to empathize, but how to advocate for those who might otherwise be unheard. You're not just caseworkers and therapists, you're superheroes and beacons of hope for others. We need you to spread that love like glitter. Your professors and mentors have been instrumental in guiding you along this path. To them, we say thank you. Not only for guiding you through the labyrinth of social theories, but also their dedication into your success and the knowledge and wisdom that was shared in each lesson. Let's not forget our families and friends, your rock stars who have cheered you on from the sidelines, even when you were buried in case studies and memorizing theories you could barely pronounce. Your unwavering support, encouragement, and occasional attempts to understand our social work jargon have been more valuable than any textbook. As each of you move forward, please know you are joining a community of change makers and those who are dedicated to addressing social injustices and improving the lives of those around us. Our world, our state, our community, we need more social workers. We must remember that our work is not just a career, but a calling, a commitment to fostering social change and enhancing human well-being. In closing, I'd like to leave you with a quote from the great social worker and advocate, Jane Addams. The things that make us alike are finer and stronger than the things that make us different. May you carry this with you as you continue your professional journeys. I hope you become the advocates, the allies, and the change makers that our world desperately needs. Together, we can create a more just, compassionate, and equitable society. So here's to you, class of 2024. May your careers be filled with moments of joy, triumph, and maybe just a few less awkward video calls. Congratulations, everyone. Let's go save the world, at least make it a little bit better. Thank you.
Promised I might try to behave today, so we'll work hard at that, okay? I get the honor of introducing our student speakers. And this has not always been into play. We started this probably our third year. We had student speakers. And I don't know, it was Peggy or Dr. Harmon and I, we decided, hey, we're going to honor you even more and try to pick people out of the group. And so this year, I was like, how are we going to pick out this group? Tough group to pick from. A lot of talent, a lot of potential. But I do want to mention a couple of things. There's assignments in the back of the room that you did. I tried to run some off for everybody. You can take those home after people get to look at them a little bit. Important assignments, really good assignments, outstanding assignments. I wanted to run off some of the podcasts, some of the videos, and I've already explained to them. You know, some of them were just so good. And so if you hear yourself talking on WMUL at some point or time, you'll know that I'm playing that because we're trying to work on that right now. One of the things we look at is not only your work, your field placement work, attitude development throughout this program, their leadership skills, what they did above and beyond the classroom. We look at where they come from, what they've overcome, and most of all, how they've changed us. So with that, I want to give you our very first speaker, who I met at a walk in Ritter Park, suicide prevention walk. And y'all know him well. He's been very, not only popular, but he has been a leader in our class. Mr. Justin Adams.
Good afternoon, everybody. While I wasn't thinking I was going to cry yet, but I really appreciate your kind words. It really means a lot. Just want to thank you all, first and foremost, for coming out today to celebrate us all on this incredible journey that we've finally made and accomplished. And secondly, and not, to forget, but I got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because without him guiding me, thus far, I wouldn't be here. If you knew my history, you knew what I come from, and you knew what I went through, you would understand as much as what I do as to why I got to give thanks. Again, I just want to thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate you all. Dr. Martin Luther King said, human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. Let that soak in for a second. The creatively maladjusted. What he meant was that we will all find ourselves free when we look to those who have figured out a way to creatively respond to the seemingly unbearable, oppressive, and supposedly normal social environments most of us find ourselves in. I could stand up here all day and tell you about the oppression that I've gone through, and even some of the oppression that my cohorts has gone through. But I'm not here for that today. You see me standing here, you know that we have all, each and every one of us in this room, not just the graduates, but those that are attending, that we all have a story. We all have come through something. To me, that quote is what social work embodies. It's like the living, breathing embodiment of what social work is. Next, I want to thank my social working professors who thought enough about me to say, he fits. Imposter syndrome is real. And I don't know if that's what you actually said, but in my mind, that's what you said. I fit. You all welcome me with open arms, and you love me through it despite my past. Being exposed to Dr. Young, who is not here today, in the generalist, in the beginning of generalist practice, was magnificent. I mean, it was just right where I needed to be. And I remember in orientation, I was so nervous, I just couldn't stop shaking. And then she comes up to me and tells me that there's no pressure, but you are the first one that has been elected to come into our program that's on parole and that has a violent crime. And I was like, no pressure. It just made it even more. But it also helped me understand that what I've known all along, even during my incarceration, that I was a leader and that I had a job to do. I had to step up, and Dr. Young helped foster that. If you know Dr. Young, her raw truth of self and how comfortable she is with telling people that if this may not be the program for you because you have to be compassionate, you have to have empathy. And it was just amazing. It was like remembering back when I played football and basketball and my coaches would get in your face and tell you about your mistakes. So I thrived in that. But Dr. Young has a graceful way of doing it, and she's very professional in doing so, and she's amazingly intelligent. Dr. Hayden, your passion for research just rubs off. I swear it felt like I was doing rocket science. And you talk about the video calls. I had meetings with her almost after every class, and she helped me understand and also pushed me even further to think that I can go for my doctorate. So I thank you for that. Dr. Harmon is also amazing and very, very caring of her students and what she does. She lives this. And it's not just about everyone saying that they're social workers and that they literally practice this day in and day out. They live and breathe empathy. And I thank you. Professor Rahman, I love her classes. I loved her classes. She too doesn't have a problem with telling you how. But really though, we bore our souls in her classes, and I found much needed healing. It was like actually attending group therapy, and I thank you. Professor Harris, really, to see someone who grew up in the same area as I did, striving for more, to be better than what we come from, hit deep with it. You can remove us from the bottom, but Motab is always in my heart. And if you have to know the place to understand what I mean. And Professor Harris knows what I'm talking about. Lastly, but not least, to my cohorts, I love y'all. The way that y'all made me feel as a 41-year-old man coming into a place that felt like he didn't belong, and actually calling me up and asking me how certain assignments needed to be done. And like, it was amazing. Y'all helped me fit right in, and you love me also along the way. I've met family, not by blood, but man, y'all are so awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you. And if I've never had a class with you, trust and believe I mean the same about you as well. Because we've gone through this. We've gone through this, and sometimes it felt like it would never end. How the semesters felt so long, I just don't understand. But they did, and we're finally here. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for each and every one of you for putting your heads together, coming together with each and every one of us and saying, we can do this, don't give up. Man, it was amazing. It was an amazing ride, and it's bittersweet, because I wish it, in a sense, that it wasn't over. Because when things like this are over, it's hard to find time to get back in touch with each other. But I promise you, each and every one of you, that my phone number is open. Video calls are open. My address is open. I promise you, I need y'all. I need every single one of you to make it through, and I thank you for accepting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Justin is an amazing example of perseverance and dedication and determination. I don't cry at these things, shame on you. Our next speaker, you have some students that come and you adopt them. like they're your kids because they won't get out of your office, or they keep calling you and saying, hey, this is going on. We need help with this. It's been amazing. This group has been wonderful and amazing. Our next speaker is Dolly Barty. She recently, hang on just a minute. She recently won 3 awards at her field placement, which is more than all of the therapists that work there. Now get quiet. Dolly completed her field placement at the Counseling Center here at Marshall, one of the most important pieces to our university. She worked with students, helping them not only in the Counseling Center, but in our Phi Alpha, who our wonderful Professor Harris led up this year and last year. They've done a lot of work, Dolly was there to work tirelessly. She has big aspirations, and she has a passion that I have, and a passion to work with people that have suicidal ideation, or people that have problems with that are so overwhelming that they feel that death is a better answer than life. And we've worked hard. Many of you have helped in that arena. Many. So now I want to introduce to you another amazing student, Dolly Barty.
Hi everyone, I'm so grateful to see all of you here today, and I just want to congratulate our cohort before we start. I'm so proud of all of you. Give yourselves a big round of applause. So proud of you guys. Oh, the places you'll go, Dr. Seuss. Dear esteemed professors, families, friends, and my graduating class, I welcome you to this Master's in Social Work hooding ceremony for the class of 2024 on this day, Saturday, August 10th, 2024. My name is Dolly Barty, and I am the Vice President of the Marshall University Phi Alpha Sigma Mu Social Work Honor Society, and also a graduating member of the Marshall University Master's in Social Work program. It is my honor to stand before you and present this commencement speech for our astounding graduating class. 20 plus years ago, my mom came from India to the United States of America so that my brother and I could have a good and fulfilling life. In India, there's a lot of struggles, competition, and hardships. My mom surpassed all those things and much more, with many sacrifices being made so we both could have all the opportunities we could ever want. My mom often recalls her struggles she first had coming to the U.S., such as with cuisine, cultural differences, education, and many aspects. Mom was Miss India, Miss Armed Forces, and a successful fashion designer in India, having completed an undergraduate degree as well. After Mom came to the U.S., she had to complete an additional undergraduate degree, master's and PhD from the University of Pennsylvania. Go Quakers! All while single-handedly raising 2 kids and navigating a new country. Watching the struggles my mom had to endure and her drive and passion for academics and learning inspired me to do the same. I mean, come on, are you really Asian if you haven't heard "my child will be a doctor" dialogue? Our family always had a strong emphasis on education and the power of learning. These are values my mom has instilled in me and something I will always carry. As my mom always says, we learn something new at every stage of life. One never stops learning. Mom, you certainly were right. In this program, not for 1 minute did I ever feel that I stopped learning, and I'm still learning. Sorry. And we'll continue to learn. I'm so grateful for you and the sacrifices you made for Vijay and I. Thank you for supporting me to get here and all my future endeavors. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. You are the best mom, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. This degree is for you. I'm grateful to be your daughter and love you so much, more than anything in this entire world. My brother Vijay, thank you for being the best brother and inspiring me with your knowledge. From a young age, you've always displayed high scholastic achievement. Let it be through robotics, being a Coca-Cola scholar, Science Bowl, AP exams, now at 22 years old in Marshall's Medical School. You've displayed time and time again the significance of hard work. Your passion and dedication towards medicine is truly astonishing. You have a kind heart, big smile, and bright mind. You're going to do great things. I'm so proud of you. Love you so much, more than anything in the world, and I'm grateful to be your sister. Thank you for assisting me with my younger day academics, no matter how annoying I was. Now go study, well. Social work holds a very powerful place and position in my life journey. The impact one has on another person, the ability to inspire and make change. That is something I've always wanted to do since I was little. I'm passionate about so many things, and my client once said, if you ever feel like this profession isn't for you and you ever feel down in the dumps, just remember you changed lives here. That was one of the most powerful and emotional moments I endured through this program. This is what makes what we do so beautiful, the many lives that we can change. You can't change where you came from, but you can certainly change where you're going. It reminds me why I selected this profession in the first place and why I wanted to inspire change. I struggled in undergrad a lot. While many saw me on the executive board of SGA, being a president or vice president of many organizations, a TA, a Desi Indian kid playing piano, and speaking 4 languages, a part of me wasn't happy. I knew I wanted to be a doctor for the longest time, but after I got to pre-medical and biology coursework, the reality was much different. After stumbling upon psychology, I knew this is where Dolly mode could be unlocked. When I accepted my decision letter to attend Marshall for my master's in social work, I was completely new to this profession and honestly didn't know too much about social work. This profession isn't very common or talked about in South Asian culture. I was excited to learn more about how I could integrate this profession with psychology practices. I struggled knowing that no one looked like me in the classroom and that I was the first ever and only South Asian student to be in this program and at the Marshall Counseling Center. In South Asian culture and Asian culture on a whole, mental health is not discussed and access to mental health resources are stigmatized or limited. I have learned so much and gained so much from this program that I could have imagined. With the knowledge I have received, I am excited to break boundaries and stigmas in minority mental health, specifically Asian, South Asian backgrounds and culture, to ensure everyone has a voice. I was also accepted at the University of Pittsburgh within 24 hours of applying for their master's in social work program and really was stumped between going Panthers or the Herd. I had never been to Huntington before, and the stereotypes and things I had heard hadn't made the decision any better. And boy, was I met with culture shock when I moved here. I remember my inner foodie screaming, "Where's the quality Indian food? What?" My time here in Huntington over the past 2 years has been bittersweet. Putting aside all the biases, struggles, long nights of studying that I've had before and while coming here, I am so glad I did. I have made the best of friends, professors, and my counseling center crew, where I'm so grateful to have completed my field practicum for the past 2 years. I am so grateful for the knowledge our professors have bestowed upon me and their unwavering support at every step of the way. Thanks to all of your dedication in this field, we can be culturally competitive, passionate, and knowledgeable clinicians and do great things in this world. Thank you so much, Professor Harris, Dr. Young, Dr. Harmon, Professor Looney, Professor Reimer, Dr. Hayden, Dr. Nelson, Ms. Dinges, and Dr. Nichols for all your continued guidance, support, wisdom, and impeccable talents to our field, and for teaching me and our students everything social work we need to know. During my time at Marshall, I have achieved many things, being a researcher and super close to publishing research, receiving first place at the College of Health Professions Research Symposium Day, completing a project for the Department of Homeland Security with guidance under our very own, the amazing Dr. Deborah Young, through the Invent to Prevent program, where our team received honorable mentions, being an intern in GA and named Intern of the Year and Documentation Champion at the Marshall Counseling Center, and also selected as president for MUSSWO, the Marshall University Student Social Welfare Organization, Astronomy Club, a Phi Kappa Phi Honor Society member, Active Minds member, and so much more that I wouldn't have been able to do anywhere else, and am so grateful for. The best opportunity, however, during my time here of them all, was to learn and grow from the best professor in the entire world, whom I have been so grateful to be a student under and receive world-class knowledge and experiences from, Professor Reimer. Your passion, knowledge, dedication in this field is something I have yet to see in all levels of my education. Thank you for uplifting me at times when I felt I couldn't, welcoming me with open arms, and for believing in me and unwaveringly supporting me in all my current and future goals. For always greeting me with a smile and being so personable, letting me bust down your door 1,000 times, and for granting me a space to share my Indian culture with you, something which is new to this program and my peers. Thank you, Professor Reimer, for everything. I can't thank you enough for what you have done for me, the students, our university, and this community. You embody the principles of being a social worker and this profession. Thank you for being my campus nanny or my grandma. I am so grateful to be in this program because I got to meet you. I wouldn't have traded this opportunity for any in the world. Yes, not even those darn Panthers. While Freud, Vanderklok, Bowlby, Prochaska, D. Clemente, Eamon, Adams, and Mandura are great, you're simply the best. No matter which professor I have in the future, no one can ever replace you. I promise. My graduating class, I ask you just one thing, to discover what propels you to get out of bed every morning. Unlock your passions, research more and even more, constantly learn, channel your modus operandi, be kind, empathetic, serve with gratitude to your clients, be true to yourself, and never forget what our professors from this program have taught us. Review those textbooks, every fragment of paper, and the golden core of wisdom we have received. My friends, our journey has just begun. When you're stumped and can't remember what CBT stands for, trust yourself and know you have it all. Country roads will always lead you home. I know for me it did because I got to meet all of you. Thank you, my friends, buddies, amigos, pals, dosto, and amigas. You are the best, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Our laughs, struggles, and smiles you brought in this program, for allowing me to be myself and share my culture and Indian heritage with you on a platform I hadn't had the opportunity to do so, and for accepting me for who I am. Thank you especially to my generalist cohort. We've been in it for the long haul, but it's been so worth it, every second of every minute of every hour. You all hold a special place in my heart. Change is the nature of life, but a challenge is the future of life. So challenge the changes, never change the challenge, by Amitabh Bachchan. After graduation, I plan to apply for a PhD or a PsyD in programs for clinical psychology. No, not in West Virginia, so I can be a clinical psychologist. I know, you all are still salty about it. I will always practice and implement my social work knowledge, because of which I got to meet all of you and become a better student, clinician, and mental health advocate. I encourage you all to find your country roads, follow that road and don't question it. Be courageous, dare to explore, and know the world is your oyster. Not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness can be determined by service. Martin Luther King Jr. As social workers, that's exactly what we do. We lead, we serve, and we inspire. You all have inspired me to do so much more, and I cannot wait to see where your path takes you. I am a proud South Asian Indian, graduate of the class of 2024 MSW program, and daughter of Marshall University. And finally, as I continue to say at every graduation ceremony, it's always a party with Barty. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, darling. There's been so much work done in this program outside of the classroom, outside of their assignments. So many of you have helped do things that were extra. And the next student, he's tried to drive me crazy, but he always is stirring the pot when we come to discussion and conversation. But his input has always been priceless. His leadership is phenomenal in this class, and I know he's going to do such awesome things. So now I give you Mr. Michael Cute.
Thank you, Professor Reimer. I
was just going to improv, but I knew that Professor Reimer would kill me and bury me in Eastern Kentucky somewhere, never be found. So I wrote something down. I'll try to stick to it and be quick because I'm thirsty enough to be. What were you thinking, giving me a platform and a microphone? No, seriously though. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome our esteemed faculty, my fellow graduates, and our families and friends. It's been a long 2 years for us generalist students, and I would imagine an even longer year for the advanced standing. All the long nights of writing and research and all the hours of practicum are finally finished, and today we celebrate this achievement. Congrats to all of us. We did it, guys. I stand before you today with a ton of pride in this accomplishment, especially because I really thought this was a dream, an unattainable dream. As most of you know, and I've never been shy about sharing, I'm a person in long-term recovery from SUD. 6 years ago, I was a hopeless and broken man. I had lost everything. I had lost my family, my freedom, all my possessions. I had lost all hope. And I really believed I would never be anything more than what I'd become. It is so hard to look in the mirror and know the person staring back is not really who you are or who you long to be. I finally decided that enough was enough. I had a long road ahead of me, though, and I needed help. I was very lucky because early in my recovery, I met someone who would forever change my life and the path I was on. And that person was my therapist. It was not easy, and it did not happen right away. But I finally had someone that I could be honest with, that would listen to me without judgment, even though I was sharing things I was greatly ashamed of. I had someone that helped me deal with the deep-seated issues that always caused me to return to substances. I had someone that cared about me and showed me empathy, but would also tell me if I was being unrealistic and toxic to myself. More so than all of that, I had someone that believed in me and helped me to finally believe in myself. And that's what a good therapist can do for you. Sarah, where are you? Thank you. So for a lot of you that are like me, when you started this program and you dreamt to be a therapist and work one-on-one with a client and help them, I hope my story only encourages you more that what you were doing is the right thing. I feel so blessed and happy to have met all of you. We have made such beautiful and lasting friendships with each other, and I'm very grateful for that. I look around and I see such a diverse group of people, not only diverse in who we are and the experiences we bring to the field, but diverse in the work we all do. Whether it be working with children from broken homes, or working with the unhoused, or working with someone suffering from mental health disorders, or working with a hopeless person in the thralls of addiction, what we do is so important. I want us all to make sure we keep these professional relationships and friendships we have, and always strive to network with one another, and refer services when maybe someone we were working with could benefit from the expertise and services of another social worker. Remember, our clients are always the experts of themselves, and we may not always be the expert that they need. You know, it's funny because I was positive when I started this program that all I wanted to do was be a therapist. However, after classes in leadership and policy and a sudden career change halfway through the program, I realized that maybe my calling is in a more macro career with a wider reach. But that's okay. The field of social work is lucky to have all of us, and we are lucky to be in this field. We have the luxury to do so many different things with our degree, and it doesn't matter if it's micro or macro practice. It doesn't matter if it's working one-on-one with a client or working with groups, or working in government or working in schools. We will be making a difference, and the world desperately needs every one of us, and that is all that matters. So let's get out there and make a difference. I want to thank my family for putting up with me. My fiance, I told her when I got into this program, it's like I can suffer for 2 years through anything, and we did. You know, it's really tough raising 2 teenagers and working full-time and being in this program, and I know we've all experienced the same thing. And I just know we're going to do great things. And I want us all to just go out there and get it. Thank you. Go Herd!
We're needing a new governor. Keep that in mind. Our last but not least, this student has done remarkable things. She was in our MSW program,
decided to come straight over to MSW program. I don't know if that was good or if that was a bad decision, but she's a hard worker. Done numerous things during this program. And she brought a band to our walk. First band for our Out of Darkness walk, or our Walk for Hope, rather. But every year we do this walk, and students do remarkable things. They bring people, they engage with the field placements that they have. They do so many things to make this a success. This past year we had, this was in April, 3, I think, was the final count of how many attended. And Kristen played a huge part in that. And I want to give you, last but not least, Kristen Maynard.
Hello everyone. I am thankful to be standing in front of you this afternoon as one of the student speakers, especially because I was convinced that these assignments over the last year were going to kill me. Every person who is here with their graduate has seen how hard that we have worked while being in this program. Some of us have had to miss vacations, going out with friends, concerts, games. We have experienced late nights, running from work, to volunteering, to school events, and class, all while managing to get our homework and documentation submitted in a timely manner. I personally would not have been able to get this far in life without my support system, and I am sure a lot of my peers here feel the same way. So thank you all for the help that you have given us throughout these long nights, work days, and other events. I also want to say thank you to all the professors here with us today. I remember being at the orientation for the master's program and feeling so scared for what the next year was going to be like. I was worried that I would not be able to balance what was expected of me academically with what was expected of me in my personal and work life. Being able to do these things definitely was not easy. Throughout this whole process, my professors made it known that they would be there to help whenever I needed it. And they were, because they care about their students and because they are social workers. Each of us has our own reasons for deciding that we want to go into social work. Personally, I have known from a young age that whatever job I had in the future, it needed to involve helping others. When I first found out about the BSW program at Marshall, I began to research the career, and the more that I learned, the more that I felt sure this was what I wanted to do with my life. I'm sure most of you know what people say when you tell them that you're going into the social work field. Why would you do that? You're going to be broke. And, oh my gosh, you're such an angel. I could never do something like that. I don't know about you all, but I would not consider myself to be an angel. And I definitely don't plan on being broke now that I've graduated. But I am someone who wants to help those who need it and be a voice for those who don't have one. The last semester of my undergrad and this last year in the master's program has solidified that social work is what I'm meant to do with my life. One of the stories that comes to mind when I think of being in the social work field is getting to meet a client at a children's advocacy center in Kentucky. She had come in due to a tragic incident with one of her siblings, and I was asked to help her feel more comfortable before and during her forensic interview. We ran around the waiting room together and played different games. We were able to talk about her life, and I explained what she would be doing while she was there. During her interview, I also found out that she was covered in poison ivy. But I stayed with her when she was done while her other siblings were interviewed as well. Before she left, she ran to me and gave me a big hug goodbye. Despite the concerns about the poison ivy, I hugged her back without a second thought, because I knew that she was scared and I had been able to help her feel safe and happy, even if it was just for a few hours. Looking back over this last year, there were a lot of highs and lows I experienced. Times when I cried in my car over clients who I wanted to work harder at helping. Times when I was extremely stressed about assignments or participating in different events here on campus. Thankfully, I made a lot of good memories also. I've been able to help my clients get supplies, clothing items, and food when they have needed it. I've worked hard with them on improving their schoolwork and their mental health. There's a lot that I've done in this program that I'm proud of because of the hard work that it took. And going through this program definitely prepared me to work in a clinical setting and feel confident in my abilities. It makes me grateful to know that my classmates will now be my colleagues. I've gotten the opportunity to listen to some of you discuss the populations that you want to work with. I've seen the hard work and dedication that you have shown throughout this program, and I know that I'm looking at a group of amazing individuals who will be working hard at advocating for their clients and making life a little easier for those around them. So thank you all for listening to me speak today, and congratulations, because we did it.
Are y'all ready? So, as the MSW field director, I don't always get to work directly with our students, but I usually get to oversee from a distance. So, they have worked remarkably hard. Our generalist students, if you started off in the generalist placement, have to do 900 field hours, and our total. And then our advanced standing, sometimes you do a little bit more. So, and our advanced standing coming into the program, they do 400 field hours. So on top of class and life and work and everything else, they work hard. So congratulations to all of you. Like I said, I don't always get to be directly involved, but I do get to watch from a distance, and I am so very proud of you as your field director. Congratulations. I always hear such good things about what you're doing in the field. Keep it up outside of here. So I'm very proud of you. So with that being said, are you all ready? All right. Yes, sir. Okay. Are they going to come up this way? Yes, if you all want to take pictures as they walk up, what I will end up doing as I go through is I will stop to bring up our professors and then give you a second to take a picture of your student, of your family member. Professor Jessa Dingus is going to put our first student. All right, Seth Armstrong. Dr. Harmon, you're up next. Kara Blevins. Mary Beth Eastep. Anua Toba Osman. Professor Harris. Justin Adams. Farron Block. Noah Cruz Bustillo. Lona Kuhn. Shayna Hammonds. Aaron Hayden. Destiny Leggett. Katie Maynard. Kayla Prince. Tiffany Providenti. Dr. Hayden. Ashley Reedy. Yvette Reardon. Professor Looney. Hannah Dorsey. Who weren't able to be here today, so Abigail Holbert and Whitney Schultz.
Okay, we're almost done, folks. Hang in there with us. A few more. Hooded by Dr. Alicia Nichols, Elizabeth Burke. Professor Reimer. Jamie Bamberger. Dolly Barty. Rayanne Nicolella. Jeremy Cochran. Aaron Kraft. Katie Davis. Daniel Reese Fry. Alyssa Hudson. Beth Kearns. Oh, Ann Hutchinson. Now Beth Kearns. Michael Coots. And I can't wait to see how this goes. Just sit down, Michael. Catherine Lambert. Kristen Maynard. Mary Malarkey. Lacey Mullins. Adriana Porter. Ty Howe. Jesse Prince. Brennan Reinhardt. Carly Smith. I need my glasses on today. I really did. Now Professor Dingus will introduce our alumni staff.
Hello. I know you guys put in a lot of work for this program and you had to miss a lot of things. I missed my brother's rehearsal dinner for his wedding while I was in the program, so they expect a lot. Just kidding. I am. And with that being said, I am, myself and Professor Harris, we are two of the only faculty that have actually been through the program as well. So we were able to see it from the very beginning. I was in the first class, so that was the best. But he was second, that's okay. No, what we would like to do though, we have been working on a very special project for you guys, and you guys are actually going to be the first to really hear about it and be able to get involved. I was given, I wouldn't say threat, but I was told, I guess, that I needed to do a really great introduction. Really all I've got is like Dolly, Barty, they bring the party. We'll just go with that. So I have, with us today, we have Matt James and Walker Tatum from the Alumni Association to speak with you guys.
We'll be quick. I know everybody is burning up. How's everybody doing? Yeah, this is a great crowd. Walker and I are dragging. We're happy to be here, but we ran a 5K this morning. And I just want to tell you, I'm about 15 and a half years older than him, and I smoked him by 3 minutes. So thank you for the 30-some-year-olds in the crowd.
I just want to add that I'll need you all to say prayers for me, because I will hear that every single day for the next, who knows how long at work.
So my name is Matt James, and I have the honor of serving as the Vice President of Alumni Relations here at the university.
And I'm Walker Tatum, and I have the honor of serving as the Director of Alumni Engagement.
So we're among the first to say congratulations to you, but we also just want to say thank you. We work with alumni now, but my background is school counseling. So I just want to say thank you for going into the field to help other people. We need you now more than ever. And you know, if you do the right thing, I had a mentor that told me, Kristen, if you do the right thing, that the money will come. So don't worry about that. Speaking of money, this is a new era in alumni relations, and I've been in this role for about 2 years. And one thing that really turned me off when I was in your shoes is the first thing that happened when I crossed the stage. People put their hands out and ask for money. We're not here to ask for your money. We're here to ask for your time and your service. We're going to tell you how you guys can get involved as alumni. Walker has an exciting thing he's going to share. I think that Jessa was setting that up. But just know that we're also really interested in engaging our young alumni. Walker just graduated in April as the student body president. So we're really intentional bringing on a staff that looks a lot more like the folks we're trying to engage.
Yeah, so project-wise, when I came on at the foundation, I got to work alongside Matt and with Jessa and Shaquille to start to establish a social work alumni chapter. So just to give you all a little bit of context, we have 26 alumni chapters around the nation. One of those is international in Shanghai, China. But a lot of times when people hear alumni chapters, they think it has to do with location. So it's just a group of Marshall alums that may get together in Charlotte, North Carolina, to do a couple things. But it's not only about location, it's also about, programs and departments. So, when we sat down with Jess and Shaquille to talk about a potential alumni chapter here with the social workers, we thought, what better group than, you all that give back so much to your communities and what work that you all do, like how you all support one another. I told Matt, I'm a biology major. I graduated with my biology degree, and it was like the Hunger Games. We were cutthroat. We would not have stood up and clapped and supported one another. So to see that and everything that you all, do for one another is great. And, Matt and I are here as a resource for you all, and we really think that this is something super exciting. So on the table back there, when you all are dismissed, before you head downstairs for the little reception, there's a save the date that Jessa may have mentioned, but this is going to be like the hard launch of your all's chapter, which is on October 5th. So this is going to be your point of contact. Jessa has her email on this, and then we also have that Facebook that we encourage you all to join. This is something that I think really serves the mission of Marshall for All, Marshall Forever. We're excited to incorporate you all so that Matt and I can support you all in all your future endeavors to make sure that you all are giving to the next generation of social workers, and we couldn't be more proud to be here and to speak with each and every one of you all.
So Justin, your speech, man, inspired me. I'm not even in the class. But you said at the end of the speech, you guys, it's tough to get connected with people after you cross the stage. That's true. I've been through this. It's really tough to get together. This is the way to do that, and you guys will actually make an impact and do something good for Marshall and for your program. So I'm going to encourage you guys to do that. We brought some free stuff. We'll be downstairs. We have to run down there because it's in a bag over there. And also, I think we have lapel pins, but you have to talk to us to get those.
Yes. So if you all want a Marshall lapel pin, you all have to approach us and actually speak to us, and we'll give them to you. We'll have them on our bodies. So.
Also, we have cards we're going to give you when you talk to us. These are our cell phone numbers. I'm a texter. Text me anything you need. We're here as a resource for you at Marshall. So graduates, I feel like this is a crowd that's engaged. I just want to ask the graduates to stand up as we close this. Let's do this one more time as students. We are. We are. We are.
Okay, and apologies on my behalf. The reception, we're just going to get you on the way out. There's not a reception. Sorry to get your hopes up, but we're just going to get you on the way out. And in terms of business cards, Matt brought his, but I forgot mine, so you'll get Matt's. All right, go Herd. Congrats.
Remain standing. Don't sit down, because now it's time for you to give your families the applause that they absolutely deserve. And family, would you like to stand up and give your students an applause? They're not students anymore. They're grads. You may sit down. It's like church. Boys like sit down. Get up. Couple of housekeeping things. Before we dismiss, I would like all of our graduates to meet over under the John Marshall sign so we can get a group photograph, okay? I would like to once again thank our speakers. Crystal, it's really interesting. My daughter has your name, and I had her at 16, so it's nice to be on the other end of that and listen to your story. And Provost Mummert, thank you very much for coming. He is our go-to person in social work. And I believe part of that might have to do that you have a sister that's a social worker. Did you tell me that? Yes, yes. So thank you both very much for being here. I'd also like to thank our faculty, and Dr. Young is not here today, couldn't be with us, but I wanted to explain that each one of these folks has a special thing to do. You may not see Dr. Nichols and I out front, but we're usually behind the scenes writing and putting things together. Not that everybody else isn't, because they are. Obviously, Professor Reimer is on the move constantly. Besides being our clinical guide with curriculum, she also has a suicide prevention lab. She sponsors a suicide prevention walk every year and brings an awareness to us that we wouldn't otherwise have. I'd like to thank Dr. Nelson for being the clinical director of our behavioral health program, which we have struggled with since 2016 to get, we are licensed behavioral health center on campus, and now we have some things in place, grants to support students, those kinds of things, so he's in charge of that. Professor Looney, again, school social work, West Virginia Time for K grant, our prevention program for children, which is a remarkable piece. Dr. Hayden, who wrote the gerontology social work certificate that we have now in the catalog for next year, reminding us old. That's a Freudian slip. Reminding us all that old but not obsolete, right? And Professor Harris is a play therapist and is working on his doctorate at the University of Alabama. Professor Dingus is the clinical instructor at the Behavioral Health Center and works tirelessly at Harmony House and the City Mission. So we are all working always. Social work is what we do. It's what we do. We live. Now, I was thinking about, I know we want to get out of here, but I'm going to give my little spiel. Yesterday, I realized that my dad would have been 99 years old. Now, that sounds kind of crazy, but I was watching a Smithsonian documentary on the first days of the Normandy invasion, 85 days of the Normandy invasion. And my dad was in the Third Army and turned 19 in Normandy. And he didn't tell me the gross things of the war, but growing up, he's the one that really stirred my value system. He talked to me about the horrors of the Holocaust because he was one of those troops that had to assist in, as he said, opening up those concentration camps, and that this should never happen again. And so another thing he talked to me about was always backing up your buddy, you know. And I think my fall kind of is a metaphor for that, because you saw when I fell down, and they're used to this. I'm always doing something. But they were right behind me to pick me up, as I would be for them. And that's really important, that you all are behind each other to pick each other up. That's how we get through. The other thing my dad taught me was about leadership. And the most marvelous thing that happened to him, I think, in his entire life, was that he said in April 1945, his troop out of Third Army, his infantry division, had liberated a town in Czechoslovakia. And there was a guy, one of his buddies that was Czech and spoke, you know, everybody came out to celebrate. They had some wine and, you know, they were all having a real good time. And my dad said, in the distance, you could see this smoke, you know, this dust, and it was a Jeep, and somebody was standing up in it, and they all stopped, and you could see the stars on the guy's helmet and the pearl-handled pistols, and he said they were all like, oh my God, because they were all driving around, and the Jeep's burning up gas. And he said it was Patton, George Patton, who I'm sure Paul Reimer's related to, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to tell this story. But he told me that, I guess, General Patton had some choice words for everybody, gave everybody a pretty good cussing, and you know what they did? They all, like, went crazy cheering. But he taught me that a good leader doesn't ask the troops to do anything he wouldn't do. And usually, generals are not going to stand up because, you know, they're a heavy-duty target. But this guy, regardless of some of the things that I've heard that aren't that great about him, was a great leader because he was always with his troops. And Third Army went faster and further than any other army in the history of the world, believe it or not. So my dad was a PFC radio man, but he sure was my hero. And he taught me a lot about life. So with that, I'd just like to ask all of our veterans to please stand so we can honor you by thanking you for your service. Thank you. So, that's all I've got to say about that, except it's a wonderful time that we've had today, and I know we're going to miss you all. I don't have daily conversations with all of you. Some of you I do. But I talk about you every day with faculty because, believe it or not, we're on the phone with each other constantly saying, hey, what's going on with this one? And we know that you all did great. So thank you, families, for coming and celebrating. This is a wonderful achievement. And you do come from an accredited program. You can't get a good job if you don't come from an accredited program. So make sure you tell people that. Okay? All right, so if you will, don't run off. Come over so we can get a picture. We want to be with you guys to take the picture. Thanks.